So, what do you think? Obviously, there's a wider world of things that former judges can do. For those who are still on the bench and may justifiably feel a lot more constrained in how they can speak publicly on these issues, what advice or what words do you have for them in this moment?
Well, a couple of things. First of all, both state and federal codes of ethics have been relaxed a little bit in many cases to allow judges to defend themselves. It's You have to be so careful, especially if the case is still pending. But more and more, the ethics codes are allowing judges to say, wait a minute, that's not what I wrote. That's not what I said. Here's what I said, and here's why I said it. Here's the precedent that I followed. That's happening more. But by and large, I would just tell sitting judges, we're trying to get your back. A lot of us are lining up, signing amicus briefs, signing letters, speaking out in town meetings, doing podcasts. We're trying to help, and it is our responsibility as lawyers and as citizens to do this. So we're in an era of name calling, which is really unfortunate. Some member of the administration talked about Marxist, communist, radical, rogue judges. Well, I've met a lot of Marxist judges, but none of them in America. There just aren't any. You can't get through. All federal judges have to go through the Senate Judiciary Committee and the investigation, and the FBI, which was formerly a much more intense organization than it is now. But it's very difficult to be a federal judge. You have to pass all sorts of milestones and markers. So I would just tell our colleagues and former colleagues, we feel your pain. We're here to try to help. We want to deal with civics. We want to talk to people. We have a little bit of extra time now because we're kind of long in the tooth and retired. And so we're not going to go gently into that good night. We're going to try to stand up and defend our former colleagues on the bench.
And of course, we are approaching the 250th anniversary of the sort of foundational document of our country being signed. As we go towards this momentous birthday this summer, what kind of birthday message would you like to give to America this year?
Well, I've actually been thinking a lot about that because I feel like I want to write an opinion piece. I don't know whether anyone would read it, but and I've been trying to think, what does the Declaration of Independence mean? I like Abraham Lincoln's view of it. He said that the Constitution was a picture frame, but the picture in the frame was the Declaration of Independence. Now, our framers missed some things. The Declaration was a little overboard on a couple of things. We complained about taxation without representation. In fact, we paid a lot less tax than people in Britain paid because they were paying for the army sent over to defend the colonies in the French and Indian Wars. But what the Declaration was the cornerstone of the American Enlightenment. It was a group of people saying, for the first time, a group constituted to say that the government comes from the consent of the governed, and that all men are created equal, and they men are created with equal rights. Now, our framers didn't quite get there. The majority of them were slaveholders. But they took a step in history that has been the inspiration around the world. There are many people that say our Declaration of Independence is even more important than, say, Magna Carta. It has been the foundation for more governments declaring their own independence and declaring their own fealty to human rights. So I hope we will remember that. And I hope we will remember that it's an evolving document. It is a document that lives and breathes. It is a document that requires citizens to be citizens, to have what Tocqueville called habits of the heart, ethics, to become active citizens. It's famously said now that when my favorite framer, the avuncular and a little bit overweight Ben Franklin, when he left the Constitutional Convention, they asked him, what kind of government have you given us, a monarchy or a democracy? And he said, a republic if you can keep it. The pursuit of happiness doesn't mean the pursuit of pleasure. It means the pursuit of civic virtue. And we all need to be good citizens. Some people will get the great privilege of serving on a jury. And interestingly, citizens that serve on the jury rate the judiciary very highly. They see how it works. And they see they get to be the law. They get to decide things that they must do and follow their oath. I wish everybody would watch the movie of the musical 1776, Pulitzer Prize winning play. I wish people would watch that and think about these remarkable framers, the American Sphinx, Thomas Jefferson, Ben Franklin, everybody's favorite, John Adams, everybody's non-favorite, but the guy who was pushing all the time, we got to do this, we got to do this. And George Washington, who wasn't always on the scene, but certainly was at the Constitution, and sent a lot of messages to the Continental Congress during these times. It was a remarkable time. It was the height of the American Enlightenment. And the Enlightenment is dare to know, dare to ask. And our framers did dare to know, and they knew and they asked. And they set the stage for scores of countries to follow.